Salutations, you shadow detectives, and welcome to another exciting day of Let's Play Unheard. Let's jump right in.
Interesting. Then someone used the director to commit the murder.
What? Would have never guessed. Hey, lady.
Congratulations, detective. You've passed the test.
Have we now?
Unfortunately, there's no time to celebrate. The real work is about to begin.
See, this is like Ender's Game. Don't you use your fancy flash animations on me. Alright, so I believe, based on the achievements of this game, that this is going to be the last chapter. So let's jump right in for the real deal.
The four events you just examined all happened in the past. Now, we need you to use the acoustic detective system to figure out a currently unsolved case. This one involves another explosion, only in a mental hospital, rather than a police station. It's... how should I put it? Peculiar.
And the previous ones weren't
Agents
peculiar?
had already attempted to solve it. None of them succeeded. And there were complications.
None of them succeeded. Why? I guess you just brushed over the fact that we technically selected the wrong one in the last case, right? Alrighty, another day with 12 people. Okay. There's not a good place to put my face on this map, so we're gonna have to just deal with the fact that it's down there in the corner. I know you can't see it, but right here there are two people. Well, you can kind of see it. There are two people and an entranceway that comes in like this. Otherwise, looks like we have another room here, a hallway, a study of some sort. What's this? A lounge? Cafeteria? Wait, what is this? What's this little room back here? Peculiar. Looks like, I would have to say this is a lounge. Oh, wait, we're in a mental ward. Yeah, so this is that room you always see in all of the horror movies, where, like, all the mental patients can watch TV and play games with each other on tables and stuff. Person there. Ooh, straight bed. Straight jacket bed. Another bed with just a normal bed. Another room. Double room. You're next. Written in blood on the wall. This is a horror film. Bathroom. Unisex. Another double bunk cottage. What on earth? What appears to be some sort of electrical device hooked up to someone's brain. Another room, but that electrical device isn't hooked up to anyone because no one's in that room. Oh, we got an achievement. Sound Chaser. Yeah, that sounds like us. Can we normally walk through objects? No, we can't. That's odd. Do you see that? We can just walk all over this desk. We can't walk over the... You can't normally walk over desks. Judge! Judge! Alright. Because we have 1, 2, 3 people here. 4, 5 here. 6, 7 in the electric chamber room. I know that's not what it is, but that's what I'm calling it. The electrotherapy room. I've already lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the double cots down here. 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there's 14 people in this case. And the 14th is right here. Okay. Let's do a quick count on the beds. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 beds, so 6 patients. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 6 patients, 8 faculty members. Seems a bit overstaffed. We have a broken window right here. Perhaps there are visitors. And not all of the remaining 8 are faculty. Is it called faculty? Or is it just called, like, facility administrators or something? The people who run the mental hospital. Well, let's start in this room. I'm more curious about these 2 people in this room here, so let's start here.
Nellie.
Alright, so we have a Nellie.
What you writing, huh?
What's going on outside? I heard a bunch of people talking, but then it went quiet.
That was Mr. Director telling us about the test. He said we gotta take over the hospital so we can put a stop to it. Also, something about, you know, how the doctors are all actors, and we're really... Shut up! He told us not to tell anyone, didn't he?
Whatever. I don't even want to know.
Look, you upset her. It's all your fault. I told you to shut up!
So we have a
Hey, Nellie,
multiple personality disorder person here.
don't be mad. What you writing? Seriously.
You wouldn't understand even if I told you.
I know what she's writing. Oh, yeah? And how the hell will you know, huh? You ain't her. Well, you ain't me either. How do you know I don't know? Exactly. I ain't you, so I don't know if you know or not. But you certainly ain't her, so you don't know squat, you big ignoramus.
Silver spoon.
Oh, so you
Okay, so this guy's maybe Spoon?
finally decided to talk to me, huh?
Do you know who you are?
I'm, me, I guess. No, you aren't. I'm me.
For once, think before you answer. It's not easy. That's why Mr. Director's so terrified about the test.
Wait, you know about the test too?
Why wouldn't I? It's called TAT, and it involves a series of repeated questions that try to get the test subject to make up a logical story based on their own desires, emotions, motives, and personal experiences. Most participants end up projecting their own subconscious onto a character in the made-up story without even realizing it.
So, that's what it is. Doesn't sound like such a big deal to me.
Yes, and it wouldn't be if it were just that. The problem is, this hospital is doing more than just a simple test. Something much more intense.
Huh? Like what?
They put extreme pressure on the test subjects, causing them to lose themselves in the stories they make up. Even once the test...
Alright, so there we go. I think there's some meta-knowledge going on here where this specific, how do you put it? The setting that we exist in Unheard may perhaps be a parallel to this psychological testing that puts extreme stress on the subjects. We ourselves may be a character lost in one of these psychological experiments that have been supposedly going on.
Is over, they lose track of reality, which can lead to the development of multiple personalities. And those whose minds are already weak, they lose track of who they are altogether. Textbook delusional right there.
Ha! Well, I'll be. No wonder Mr. Director's about to shit his shorts. Don't concern me, though.
Oh yeah? Then how about this scenario? Deep down, you, me, all of us constantly struggle with our own issues. Pretty normal, right? Well, during the test, people tend to project those conflicting thoughts onto different characters in the stories they make up. Each thought becomes its own character, constantly engaged in a bitter, back-and-forth argument with its other half. Until, finally, they lose the ability to become one again.
That's impossible. Wait, is she talking about us? I'm calling BS!
Hey, don't look at me. I'm not the one running the tests. I just wanted to let you know to be prepared. And more importantly, don't forget who you are.
Now I'm actually kind of intrigued. Sounds a little, I don't know, fun. No one's ever been able to give me a run for my money before. Oh, what do you know? Sounds like some kind of, I don't know, metaphysical test. Metaphysical my ass! It's a scam, pure and simple. And you can't bullshit a bullshitter. I am unscammable. Oh, shut up. I need to think. Thinking never did you any good. Metaphysical. Whatever. I'm gonna hit the hay.
And he goes to the toilet? Alright. I suppose we'll just fast forward here through this, see if they say anything else. Whoa! Somebody came in.
Are both of you patients here? Yes.
Speak for yourself. I ain't no lunatic. But you are! I told you I ain't!
What's going on here? Are you okay?
It was my older brother. He has mental problems. Shut up! I'm as sane as ever! You're the crazy one!
I'm crazy?
Sorry, officer. I was talking to my brother.
All right, then. Ma'am, mind if I ask what you're in here for? I'm a reporter. Before you got sick, you mean? I actually did want to know what it was that got you committed. Are you a police officer? Yeah. Then, will you believe the things I'm about to tell you? Depends. Let me hear them first. I'm a reporter. A few months ago, I received a tip saying this hospital was conducting some kind of clandestine experiments on its patients. I disguised myself and checked in to investigate. I've collected all the information I need, but now I can't prove I wasn't sick in the first place, or that I've recovered. So I'm stuck here with no way to publish my findings. What exactly have you found? Here, they use a treatment method on their patients called TAT, Thematic Apperception Test. But it's not the TAT most people know today. Rather, they use the prototype used back during World War II. Basically, it brainwashes people. After the test, patients' memories will be completely erased, and they're conditioned as well. They're programmed to respond to certain sounds, after which they'll follow any command. The hospital then goes on to claim they've been cured, but the truth is, they're nothing more than soulless robots. Tell me, officer, if you were a patient, would you want to be cured that way? You've absolutely got to get me out of here. I have to expose them. Check my notes. I've got all the evidence right here. I gotta say, that sounds more like a sci-fi flick than reality. All right, let me see your notes. Wow, don't skimp on details, do you? Let me ask you something else. You ever notice any patients in here who seem like they don't belong? Like they're faking their illness? Yeah, me. And besides you? Honestly, from what I've seen, at least 44% of the patients here are actually sane, but they've been committed regardless. Makes me think this hospital's next step is to experiment on normal people. That's quite the theory. What about him, huh? Seems pretty legit. Schizophrenia, maybe. He's sick, but it's not schizophrenia. You made a mistake any layman would make. What he has is called dissociative identity disorder. That's where you have multiple personalities.
Ha! I didn't make that mistake. I remember that from psychology. Schizophrenia is not necessarily multiple personality disorder. It is, sorry, I don't know why I'm going into this. Probably because psychology is interesting to me. Yeah, schizophrenia has more to do with, like, delusions of the mind. It can include things like seeing nightmares in reality, that kind of stuff. Now, that is coming from one tiny class in college, so I'm sure I'm mislabeling something somewhere, or there's further detail that a professional would be able to provide. But, yeah, schizophrenia is oftentimes misused to immediately mean multiple personalities, but it's not.
In his case, too. Huge difference between that and schizophrenia. I see. That I'll have to remember. Wait just a second. Aren't you getting me out of here? Afraid I can't. At least, not yet. I'll come back once our investigation wraps up. You don't believe me either, do you?
And so here's kind of the problem. We have no real way of telling who's telling the truth and who's lying here. Objectively, we can't determine based on sounds alone whether Spoon is pretending, whether Nellie is actually insane, or whether this cop is really a patient or a police officer. We have no way of knowing. That's sort of the interesting thing about a mental facility where people may already be acting under false delusions. It's very, very difficult for us to take any of this at face value. Nellie certainly sounds like a sane person, but that doesn't mean she is. Spoon certainly sounds like an insane person, but he certainly isn't. She, I don't know who she is, certainly sounds like a police officer, but who's to say she's not a patient? And so on and so forth. So even though we're able to identify these characters' names, we need to go into this with quite a bit of skepticism until we can truly determine what's going on. Also, holy crap, this whole segment is 15 minutes long.
Why you even bother, Nellie?
Journalists are the watchdogs of society. Or haven't you heard?
Yeah, and what good did any of that do you, huh? The cops didn't even believe you.
You've heard about the Unabomber, correct?
Huh?
Whoa.
Who do you think I am? Of course I heard
Going
it.
straight to the Unabomber.
Henry Murray, the inventor of TAT, used his test to evaluate soldiers during World War II. During the Cold War, he used it to interrogate spies. But did you know that he also gave it to innocent students back in 1959?
Oh yeah? What's all that got to do with the Unabomber?
Are you telling me they're going to claim that the Unabomber was brainwashed?
Are you kidding me?
Well, it just so happens that a certain 17-year-old boy, Ted Kaczynski, was one of his unwitting test subjects.
Ah, come on. That's so disrespectful to the actual victims of the Unabomber.
And, well, you know the rest. Over a period of 18 years, he ended up making and sending at least 16 bombs. What I'm trying to say is, destroying someone mentally can have repercussions far beyond one person.
Well, I'll be damned. Then that Henry Murray fella's got blood on his hands.
Henry Murray? No one in our list.
Too.
I don't know if I go that far. Science and all the experiments that go along with it are, well, they're not wrong. It's just that sometimes people can get in so deep that they lose track of the boundaries of morality. I have nothing against the doctors here. Really. I simply want to get the truth out. It's my hope that people can learn to respect humanity while still pursuing science.
Your soapbox is getting a little creaky.
A reporter with a heart of gold. You know, if Mr. Director had his say, he'd just... Shut up! He told you not to tell anyone! All right. My lips are sealed.
Sounds like thumping.
You hear that?
Oh, you can hear it too?
Hmm.
Thought it was just in my head.
No, it's definitely real. Sounds like it's coming from next door.
All of you are hearing.
It's coming from the right, so it seems to be coming from the bathroom.
Thanks. Need to up your meds.
I'll go check.
Well, now we have to choose who we follow. Let's follow Nellie. We'll make this a Nellie run. And she walks slow. Holy crap, Nellie. What are you, like 60 years old?
Who's that knocking? Ray? What are you
Okay, so we have Ray tied up in the stall.
doing here? Who did this to you?
I'll explain everything later. Quick, untie me.
I can do that, but only on one condition.
Just say it. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Within my power, of course.
You need to prove to everyone else that I'm not crazy so I can get discharged.
Consider it done. I knew you weren't crazy a long time ago.
Perfect. Then you can get me out of here.
Well, I'll do my best, but remember, I'm just a caregiver. The doctors are the ones who have the final say. Oh, speaking of doctors, Jennifer's in the room next door.
Okay, we have a Jennifer. Assuming, of course, that these people are telling the truth, which isn't guaranteed.
We gotta save her, too.
Dr. Jennifer? Doctor? Doctor, wake up!
Where am I? What happened?
Someone apparently knocked you out. Got some blood on you there.
I remember that much. But why am I in the bathroom?
Can't help you there. Wait, you weren't out cold, Ray. What happened? Huh?
Hey, what are you... Ray! What the fuck? You killed her!
She'll be fine. Anyway, better her than us, right?
What are you even talking about? What's going on?
Okay, so here's what happened. While you were treating patient number 68 earlier, you remember that, right? I was talking with James. The two of us heard this loud noise all of a sudden, so I went to check. Turns out 68 broke the window and took off. By the time I came to check up on you, you were already out cold. Had this cracked ashtray next to you, too. This got me all in a panic. So I didn't notice that the gate to the inpatient sector wasn't locked. Next thing I knew, a bunch of patients had all gotten out. They charged me, tied me up, and threw me in the bathroom. Then they dragged you in after I was tied up.
Jesus Christ. Then Nellie was in on this too? She doesn't really strike me as the violent type.
I don't know about that, but I'm not taking any risks. They're all crazy. Who knows what they're capable of?
But what is it they're trying to do? And why didn't you call the police when you had the chance?
Everything happened so fast. 1 second, I was trying to figure out what happened to you. The next, those psychos jumped me.
Huh? Where's my phone? Don't tell me they took it.
Oh, wait. Oh. God damn it, it's gone!
What?
Not my phone, something else. Caregivers aren't allowed to bring phones inside the hospital. You know, that's the rule here.
Well, that's stupid. What do we do now then? We can't even call the police. How many people did you see in here earlier? Don't tell me everyone is in on this.
I saw Clep, Silver Spoon, Oscar. Oh, right. And Mr. Director.
Okay, Klep, Spoon, Oscar, these are all characters on the list. Perhaps... I mean, it's hard for us to know whether this is true or not, because we didn't see the events leading up to this scene. We certainly know Spoon wasn't in here during the time that we've been monitoring him.
I'm telling you, it was chaos. There might have been more of them. I don't know.
And all of them working together? They're not even suffering from the same illness. This is certainly a first. What do you think they're trying to do? Escape?
They took the keys, but as far as I know, they haven't left. All I could tell was that Mr. Director seemed to be the ringleader. Something about manipulation and brainwash.
Okay, Spoon was referencing a Mr. Director several times, and Mr. Director is on our list. Ray seems to be implying that he's one of the patients here. Although it's very difficult. Obviously, Ray is being very suspicious here. We at least know that he deceived Nellie. I'm a little bit on Nellie's side, considering how she seemed to not really be interested in hurting anyone, but oh well. Perhaps Ray is telling the truth in some way, although it seems quite unlikely given the his actions.
Then it's a coup?
A coup?
Yeah, they want to take over the hospital. That's why they didn't escape. You haven't seen George, have you?
No. Maybe he's still in the treatment room?
Is that an alarm?
Probably somebody's alarm clock. I wouldn't worry about it.
Then what do we do? It's only a matter of time before they find us here.
Honestly, I think the two of us can hold them off. Clep, he's basically a stick. Oscar's a wuss. Silver Spoon's lucky if he isn't fighting himself. And Mr. Director, he's an old man. The only reason they got the jump on me last time was because they caught me off guard. But you and we'll have the element of surprise next time.
Why don't we just sneak into the director's office and use the landline to call the police?
Hey, good idea.
Come on, let's go. Stay calm. We've got this. No looking around.
Hey, you!
And
Whoa. Looks like the TV exploded. Yeah, I don't know why they bring up that message every time you get to the end. Okay, there we go. Alright, so it does look like Spoon was in there the entire time. He never left this room, although, he had a mystery guest. Let's go back to the point at which Nellie leaves the room and see what Spoon does while she's gone. Oh, talking to himself, it seems.
She called you psychotic. She did not! Nellie said I have dissociative identity disorder. Yeah, but that's another crazy disease, too. Whatever, I never liked her anyway. Nothing but BS coming out of her mouth. Once I inherit our old man's business and money, I'm gonna hire someone to cap her ass. Don't say things like that. That's a one-way ticket to jail. Seriously, if you pin this all on me again, oh, boo-hoo! As if you've never thrown me under the bus. You were a brat when we were little, and you're a brat now! Oh, what's a couple of misdemeanors? The old man will forgive me over time. Besides, once you're put away for life, I'll be the only heir. I'll have a proper business to run. Get out of here! What the hell do you know about running a business? All I'm saying is leave me out of this. You got it? Then get the fuck out! Stop following me!
Did you talk to the police, Silver Spoon?
I did! I did too.
Did you notice anything strange?
That lady cop had a real attitude. Kept saying I had schizophrenia. Well, you've got it! You're a complete schizo! Don't interrupt me.
Just stop talking already. Both of you are giving me a headache.
The cop that questioned Silver Spoon was a chick, Mr. Director. That means there's more than one of them. You think they're on to us?
Wait, this guy's Mr. Director? So this is a patient.
Maybe we change the plan? Make a run for it while we still can? I mean, the gate is wide open.
No, the show can't end like this. Don't you want to know the truth? After all this time, the lies, the manipulation, don't you crave retribution?
Lies ain't the half of it. They probably want to steal my company while I'm not there, too. Your company? When did it become your company, huh? Oh, shut up about your stupid company. No one cares. Yeah, well, either way, it's time for the doctors here to pay up.
Right you are about that. Our plan is already in motion. With the doctors under our control, all we need to do is wait for the police to leave. Then this hospital will be ours.
Yeah, well, I still don't get how the police knew to show up at just the right moment, you know? Someone must have ratted on us.
You make a good point. Who could have called the police then? George?
Nah, he was already in with the maestro before any of us even did anything.
Okay, so we know that this guy isn't George. Also, Maestro. Wasn't Maestro the name of the... Hang on. Wasn't Maestro the name of the artist? From, like, the second chapter? Oh, wow.
Probably doesn't even know what's going on.
Jennifer, then? Well, this could turn out bad for us. If the cops were to search the bathroom.
This guy might be Klep. I'm starting to think this guy's Klep.
Jennifer? No, I can't be her. I stole a phone.
What? I thought I told you to lock her up, not steal her phone. Give it here.
Okay, we know that this is actually Jennifer's phone because when she came out of the bathroom here, she said that her phone was missing.
Recent calls. Well, the last call she made wasn't to 911.
Why don't we try calling it? You can't just do that. We don't know who it'll call.
Weird.
Then what are you looking at me for?
Okay. Hang on, let's go back. So he makes a call? Let's do Mr. Director. Let's do Mr. D. Mr. D calls...
We don't know who it'll call. Then what are you looking at me for?
Hand it over. And whose phone is this?
From that stupid cop earlier. But you know what?
Okay, so Mr. D calls the cop.
We don't know who it'll... call.
Over. And whose phone is this?
From that stupid cop earlier. But you know what? Here's what's really weird. Who calls a cop directly rather than 911?
You stole this from the
You know, that guy brings up a good point.
police? How many other phones have you stolen?
This has to be Klep. It's probably shorthand for kleptomaniac.
I don't got any more phones, but I do have this.
You are a real piece of work. Why would you steal a TV remote?
Got it from Ray earlier. It looks like a phone, you know? Even fits in your hand like one. I couldn't resist.
I think a special place in my heart goes out to Clep.
That a police siren?
Which part of stick to the script don't you understand? If you would have just followed your lines, you wouldn't have run the risk of getting us all into trouble. Now, if the police come back here, our plan is ruined. All our efforts down the drain. I'll keep the doctor's phone for now. You return both of those, but don't get caught.
But I never learned to return stuff.
Make it happen.
All right.
That's odd. We've been here for a while now, but there's been no sign of Nellie.
There was some kind of weird sound earlier, so she went to check. Probably went to the bathroom.
It was indeed the... Wait, to the bathroom, you said?
Dramatic. Oh, yes, we know. You know, sometimes we just want to... I hate that it's like, oh, would you like to go back and play it? No, go away. I just want to see the end picture. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So, Spoon spends the entire time in here. A little bit awkward that he's just sitting on the John while he's having conversations with everyone, but what have you. So, I think we've got the full story on him as far as his actions during this whole thing. Now let's take a look at who else we have identified. We certainly seem to have a lot of the patients, or what appear to be the patients, memorized. Let's start at the top. Let's follow Mr. Director. Yep. Looks like Clep comes to visit the director.
What took you so long?
I got a business deal. All taken care of now, though.
Business deal? I told you to lock those two in the bathroom.
That's I did. Don't worry. But what about George, huh? We take care of Jennifer and Ray, but leave George? Shouldn't we lock him up too?
George is conducting one of those brain goggle sound experiments on the Maestro. If we interrupt them...
So now, I know we're not following them, but I bet that's these two here. So let's go ahead and label this guy as George and this guy as Maestro.
There's a chance we'll fry our friend's mind.
Fine, well let him be for now. But what if the police decide to barge in there later?
I've made arrangements. Oscar will try to send him away. Should he fail, he'll lead the police to us. When that happens, I need you to give a winning performance.
Don't you worry about that. I may not be an actor or anything, but I'm an ace at improv. Hey, well, now what, hit him?
Perfect. First, we'll take control of the hospital. Then, we'll rescue Maestro.
Seriously, though, that test Maestro went to, what's it all about, huh? You guys keep saying he's fucked. What the hell did I do to him in there?
I didn't know much about it myself until I spoke to Nellie. She calls it a thematic apperception test, or TAT.
TAT? What's with all the acronyms nowadays? Can't hardly tell what the hell something is. Do we even know it's legit? You know Nellie. She throws Dr. Mumbo-Jumbo like this around all the time. Full of shit, if you ask me. Who's to say she's not just making shit up on the fly? You really gonna believe a windbag like her?
I don't think she's making it up.
Yes, it's like I told you already. This isn't a real hospital. No, this is nothing more than a reality show. And the reason you don't remember is for exactly this reason. The test. That TAT has brainwashed all of you. You don't even remember who you really are.
Brainwashed? The hell?
Yes, all of us. We were participants in this theater verite. Over time, the rest of the crew, the true evil behind this, manipulated our gray matter using these so-called tests. They made us believe we were mental patients.
Okay, I'm not going to say that the director is wrong, but I am going to say that at this point it continues to be indefinitive. We have no hard evidence proving that anyone here is really telling the truth or lying yet, and that's kind of frustrating.
Mental patients! Fortunately, my experience as a director allowed me to see through their wiles and maintain my true sense of reality.
I mean, Mr. Director, Klepp, Spoon, the three of them definitely seem like mental patients. Mr. Director, certainly the voice actor for him, seems to indicate an air of unintelligent haughtiness. So, and Klepp certainly seems to be a kleptomaniac, so.
A professional like...
Although, if what they're saying is true, I suppose they could have been pre-programmed to exhibit these symptoms with the brainwashing machine from World War II or whatever. Wasn't there a Netrunner conspiracy breaker based on that? Let's see, the three conspiracy breakers are Black Orchestra, Paperclip, and MK Ultra. Wasn't MK Ultra the brainwashing one? Maybe.
Me can spot an amateur from a mile away.
No wonder those doctors keep telling me I'm sick.
These doctors, they used these tests to toy with our brains, giving us all sorts of wild hallucinations. Once our heads are adequately scrambled, they give us a new identity. By doing so, they keep us trapped in this never-ending reality show, day by day losing more of our hold on reality. In short, the doctors aren't real doctors, and we aren't real patients. We're nothing but actors in this twisted, cruel production.
We're the actors? I thought Oscar was the only actor in this place.
Are you both patients here?
Oh God! My stomach! Sorry, I
Hey!
gotta go.
And just where do you think you're going,
Sorry.
pal? Sit back down. You can leave when I say you can leave, which is after you've answered my questions.
Okay. Whatever you say.
Both of you sit down and behave yourselves. I want you to answer the officer's questions. Also, officer, I don't understand what you hope to gain by interrogating these patients.
Okay, so we have a second officer.
That's a nice costume you got there, officer. Pretty convincing, even. Your lines, on the other hand, have room for improvement. You can't start off that strong. You lose any sense of foreshadowing. Just makes the audience feel off.
We've nicknamed patient 49 Mr. Director. Believe it or not, he suffers from something called the Truman Show delusion.
The Truman Show delusion? Is that a real thing? That can't be a real thing. For those of you who don't know or perhaps forgot, The Truman Show was a movie starring Jim Carrey. Perhaps it was a book before then. I'm not sure. I only know the movie, so please don't witch hunt me if there was a version of this before the Jim Carrey movie. Anyway, it is a movie where essentially it is exactly as they describe here. Jim Carrey is a person living his life. He thinks it's real, and then the audience gets to realize as they continue to watch the movie that Jim Carrey's life is actually one giant reality show. And eventually Jim Carrey figures it out and he finds a way to escape and all that kind of stuff. But I just think it's funny they created that can't be real, right? That can't be a real mental disorder, like the thought that you were truly on the Truman Show. Is that an actual thing? Oh well.
In his mind, he's making a masterpiece, and we're all just actors. We rely on role-playing therapy to treat patients like these. Trying to interrupt or correct him will just get us nowhere. But if we play along, he'll calm down soon enough.
Mr. Director? I'd like to ask you a few questions. Who are you, really? Look me straight in the eye.
That's how you do it. Much better, much better. You gotta have a quiet sense of intimidation. You don't need to shout to be coercive. Go back and re-enter through the door. Let's shoot this scene again.
What the hell?
Please, officer, he meant no harm. Remember, I mentioned some of our patients are likely to initiate contact.
Well, what about that one, huh? Mr. Bathroom Emergency. Was that real? Or just some excuse so he could leave?
Him? He's a thief.
Hey, that's defamation, you hear me? I'm a law-abiding citizen. Behave!
Patient number 36 suffers from an impulse control disorder commonly known as kleptomania. He simply cannot stop himself from stealing. Doesn't matter the person or place.
Ha! I didn't realize sticky fingers were a disease. But he's already in here, so why'd he try to run?
Old habits die hard, I suppose. This one was constantly being hounded by the police, arrested multiple times. The sight of you probably triggered a conditioned response from him.
Bullshit! Just ask around. When did I ever get caught? Huh?
Ha! You're saying you never got caught? Then why did you end up here? He was a repeat offender, you see, always stealing old phones. The police found it so odd that they gave him a psychiatric evaluation. And wouldn't you know it, he was certifiable. So, instead of sending him to prison, they sent him here.
Quite the nutcase, I see.
Wow. If these guys are actually running the mental facility, they are just the worst kind of doctors.
Yeah, well, we are doing our best to treat them.
Let's check the next room.
Okay, well, we were at least introduced to two new characters.
Cop should have moved on by now. You want me to take a look, Mr. Director?
No, you should stay here. Oscar will handle everything.
Yeah, but something don't feel right. That cop from earlier felt like he was checking if we were crazy or not. I mean, for real crazy. You think the hospital sent them?
You may be onto something. After all, everyone in this hospital, barring us of course, was sent by the hospital. They're all part of the masquerade.
No wonder he acted so weird. The only thing a cop ever gave me before were a pat down and a pair of cuffs. None of those weird questions. Good that we got you on our side to see through his disguise. I was about ready to piss my pants. Honest to God, you know how I feel about 5-0s.
Real cops, fake cops, none of it matters. This hospital wants to drive us crazy. Literally. Maybe we should simply play along? Once today's over and we've taken control of this place, the truth will finally be revealed.
Then let me go check it out! If they're gone, we can get started with the plan.
Hush, what did I just tell you? For now, we lay low.
Boring!
Director. How was I doing, Mr. Director? Like a real professional, yeah?
It was an exceptional performance. Not only did you deliver your lines with passionate bravado, your improvisation was on point.
Okay, so I wonder which one he was improving, the police officer or the doctor.
Always adjusting your lines and tones to correspond with the other actor's delivery? You truly are a master thespian!
Yeah, well, you didn't have to give me such a hard time.
Sorry. Occupational hazard. Once I get in character, I'm no longer reciting lines. I am the character. Now, I don't like to brag, but that wasn't even the best performance I ever given. For most of my roles, I've done months of research. If I had more time, I'd have checked myself into a real mental hospital for at least 6 months. Stanislavski's system pushes me to fully embody my characters by learning how they really live.
Yes, of course. What about the cops? Have they left?
Good thing you heard the siren and figured out a plan quick. If you hadn't sent me out there to stall them, God knows what they would have found by now.
What are they even investigating? The runaway patient?
Yeah, that's what they said. But, at least to me it seemed like that was just a cover-up. They didn't even check out the room where number 68 escaped. They barely even looked out the window, too. Nope. Both of them went straight to the patient rooms.
You don't think they're looking for Jennifer? Could they be on to our plan?
At first, that's what
We have Jennifer tagged. Oh, she's the one in the
I
stall.
thought too. But now, not so sure. Seemed more like they were going around looking for someone sane.
Then they've lost their minds as well. Looking for sane people inside a mental hospital?
Cops are a bunch of idiots anyway. I'm gonna go out and check again. I'll let you know.
I'll go check room 1 as well.
Let's go!
Wait for me!
Alright, so we'll continue to follow the director here.
Stop following me!
Oh, this is when, yeah,
Silver Spoon?
director and Klep come in and have the conversation.
That means there's more than one of them. You think they're on to us? Maybe we change the plan?
Hang on, I'm gonna go rewind and then get into the beginning of this conversation. So I can't quite remember exactly what they were talking about, and I feel like if we listen to it really quickly from the perspective of knowing who the Mr. Director and Klep are, it'll
Did you
stick
talk
a little
to the
better.
police, Silver Spoon?
I did! I did too.
Did you notice anything strange?
I had schizophrenia.
Okay, right, this is when they talk about the second police officer.
The cop that questioned Silver Spoon was a chick, Mr.
Yeah.
Shut up about your stupid company.
Already in motion. With the doctors under our control, all we need to do is wait for the police to leave. Then this hospital will be ours.
Okay. Of course, then eventually Klep goes to return the remote,
Weird
which
sound.
seems to detonate the TV for some reason. Alright, so that's Mr. Director. Let's follow Jennifer and Ray and see if they do anything important. They probably don't. Just gonna skim through here real quick. No, they don't. And then they have their conversation there. Alright. So we have Jennifer, Ray, Mr. Director, and Spoons all taken care of. We also have Nellie taken care of. And, you know, we can follow Klep. He begins out here in the hallway.
Murphy, $300. Pay up.
Oh, I know.
Murphy. Okay, so this character is Murphy.
You gotta wait till after I get out. Got no money in this shithole.
Hey, you want to do business with me? You do it my way. That means no credit. I already made an exception letting you try out the phone. And now that you know it works, you gotta pay up. Unless you want me to tell Jennifer you stole her phone.
Don't be a rat. All right.
Fine. How about I just give it back, huh? Then you can sell it to someone else.
Yeah, I can live with that. Hand it over.
Wait. Before you leave, do you know if they caught patient number 68 yet?
The one who escaped. Nope. Not as far as I know. What about the police?
They here yet?
Now that you mention it, Mr. Director did say he heard a siren earlier.
Perfect. Anyway, here's your phone.
And no hard feelings, huh? Next time, if you got money, we can do business.
Okay, so Klep tries to sell a phone to Murphy. We already know the rest of what Klep does. He, of course, never really leaves the room without Mr. Director, and then we know what the conversation was there. I suppose we could follow McMurphy here. I don't really know who this is.
Oh, I know.
He seems to just sit here. Oh, a couple people come talk to him here.
Who the flying fuck are you?
Oh, that's right up there with the witch getting the house dropped on her.
Flying fuck are you? I'm gonna straight up bash your fucking brains in. All right, I'm gonna need you to calm down, sir. You get that fucking doc away from me. You hear? He fucked me up. I can't think straight. I'm gonna slit his fucking throat. You hear that, huh, Doc? Huh? I'm gonna fucking murder you.
Tell the doctor he can leave, Elvira.
Elvira, okay. So this is Elvira. Are they just sitting here now?
It's safe to talk.
Oops.
Talk now.
Damn!
He's gone. It's safe to talk now.
Damn! Tony, my man! Look at you in uniform. Could have
Tony.
fooled even me.
Keep your voice down. Though, I could say the same about you. You almost gave me a scare with all that crazy talk. What's it called again?
Rabies, idiot.
Elvira.
Rabies? McMurphy's suffering or pretending to suffer from rabies? To be honest, I don't actually know what the symptoms of rabies are, so it's been a thing that's been so paranoidly pounded into what I feel like my generation's lives by our parents, like, stay away from animals, you'll get rabies, and I don't actually know what rabies does other than makes you foam at the mouth.
Charming as always, I see.
Jokes aside, what have you found? There's a whole lot of people out there that have got their eyes on Ghost's secret stash.
Okay, there's the first mention of Ghost. That's one of the questions we need to answer. Who is Ghost, and who are the real mental patients?
You look around at all?
Not much. I already talked to 2 patients. Crazy guy called Mr. Director and some thief. Gotta say, they both seem totally fucked up, to put it mildly. What about you? Who did you talk to?
Just some delusional reporter. Oh, and
Oh, Elvira was the one who talked to Nellie.
a schizophrenic called Silver Spoon. Just like you said, though, both 100% loony.
Guess we're on the same page then.
Wait, so you haven't found anything yet? So why'd you call us up here?
I didn't see him, but I know where to find him.
How so?
Process of elimination.
Okay, I'm going to take a quick pause. For you, it'll be a split second. One moment. Alright, we're back.
At first, I didn't know what to do. No one seemed to be faking it. But then I discovered seclusion room number 4 at the end of this very hallway. Never seen it unlocked, but I know someone's inside.
Seclusion room number 4. That must be this one with the padlocks on the bed.
Because the caregiver brings food there twice a day. So I played the manic card and I beat up a doctor named George, which got me thrown in here. Now I can keep an eye on things from the privacy of right next door.
Okay, is there someone in here? There isn't.
And if all the other patients are legit crazy, whoever's in that room is Ghost. I mean, the logic fits, right?
Well, look at you, Sherlock McMurphy. All right, then. Time to see who's behind door number 4. Get the key from the doctor, Elvira.
Wait, something doesn't add up. What about the escaped patient? Patient number 68. Could he be Ghost?
Nah. Think about it. Why would Ghost want to get out? He got himself committed on purpose, remember? To hide from people who want his money and his life. He knows he's a dead man if he gets out.
You have a point. Okay, I'll get the key.
Hey, I got a question for you. Your hospital gown doesn't even have a pocket. Where'd you get the phone to call us?
That, my friend, is courtesy of Klep. You met him?
He gave you a phone?
Klep is... how should I put it? He's definitely crazy. But man, oh man, can that fucker steal. All he's got to do is greet a doctor, and he's got their phone.
No wonder he tried to get close to me earlier. Bumped into me, actually. In fact, wait, where's my phone? Jesus.
Big-time hitman got played by a small-time thief. Hey, why'd you knock out George? What did he do?
Was in the way. Wanted to see our search warrant.
See if he's got the key on him.
Here. Found them.
Tony and I'll check out room 4. You clean this up.
On it.
Which one's the key to room 4?
Hell if I know. Maybe one of the bigger ones?
Hello? Anybody in here?
We know in here, Ghost. Just come on out already.
What?
What?
Empty. He escaped
All
them?
done back there.
What's going on here? Don't tell me our ghost made like a ghost.
This doesn't make any sense. This room's at the very end of the hall. He'd have to go by my room to get out. And I've had eyes like a hawk on that door this whole damn time. Hell, I was still paying attention during that whole crazy act earlier.
No, man. Something's not right. Look at the dust on the floor. Gotta be at least an inch thick. But the only sets of footprints in here are yours and mine. No one's been in here for a long time.
Well, I'll be damned. But there's no way in hell I was wrong. Let me check again. No one under the bed. Huh. What about this big chest here? You don't think he hid the money in it, do you?
A chest? Wait, don't touch it!
What the? A trap!
That fucker played us like a fiddle. Now he knows we're here. We need to pull out.
And here I thought fiddlers stuck to roofs nowadays.
No.
Fiddler on the
I'd much
roof.
prefer you use that mental energy to get us the hell out of here.
Oh, yeah, because I can just waltz out of here looking like this.
All we need is a little improv. Tony! Arrest him! We'll escort him right out of the building.
Huh. Good idea.
Arrest? That's much.
We've got our man! Let's...
Officer! You got the wrong guy!
Move it!
I'm sick,
Now
I
can
tell
move.
you!
Quiet, you!
You do this to me!
Alright. So, we certainly got introduced to a few new characters and situations. We followed McMurphy. We ID'd Elvira, and we know she was the cop that went in and talked to Spoons. Let's follow Elvira.
Hello, welcome in, officers. How can I help you? I heard your siren.
I'm Elvira. This is my partner. Are you in charge here?
Yeah, I am the administrator of this facility. To what do we owe this visit?
You look a little young to be running this place. Anyway, we're here to investigate reports of an escape.
Aha, yeah, about that. We're dealing with it internally. It's a minor incident. Not that big of a deal, really.
Not that big of a deal.
This is a mental institution. Some of our patients are highly agitated, and a few, from time to time, attempt to escape. This one happened to be successful. We have people out searching, but often the patients return on their own volition after a day or two.
How did it happen? This time, I mean.
Let me recall. Right. We were having a therapy session when the patient suddenly picked up an ashtray and hit me on the head, then jumped out the window.
Your head seems fine to me.
Oh, it wasn't a heavy blow, and in this profession you must be prepared for these sort of outbursts. Roar with the punches, as they say. Truth be told, this situation is very embarrassing, which is why I didn't want to call the police.
You might not have called us, but someone did. You also confirmed that one of your patients escaped, which means we're now legally obligated to investigate. A psych case on the loose poses a threat not only to themselves, but to the public. Take us inside. We'll need to interview the other inmates. And get us their files.
Interview? You want to talk to them?
Where are the patients? Just show us the way and we can conduct the investigation ourselves.
Well, if you insist. This way, please.
Okay, so Elvira arrives with Tony, and then that's when they bump into our doctor friend, and the reason they're going around and talking to everyone is because they're interviewing all the patients.
This is where the patient escaped. Be careful of the glass on the floor.
I need to see this patient's file.
Ah, you mean patient number 68? What do you want to know, officer? I've spent so much time with everyone here that I can practically recite their files from memory.
Hold up. Why is this gate open? No wonder you're trying to cover up how easy it is to slip out of here. All the doors are unlocked.
Unlocked? Ah, yeah, that was me. I apologize. I was in such a hurry to greet you earlier, I forgot to lock it behind me. Oh, don't worry, though. I've been here the whole time. I can assure you that no one else escaped.
Let's check inside.
This is our day room. As you can see, all our patients are quite well cared for. Wouldn't you say?
Nice decor in board games doesn't change the fact that they're still stuck in a mental facility.
Hey, new arrivals! Grab your clothes and toiletries.
Huh? Who are you?
None of your concern. Pick your seat and sit down. I don't want any trouble.
Who's this guy?
Patient number 27 has a non-bizarre grandiose delusional disorder. He thinks he's a caregiver here. The hospital is short-handed, so we usually leave him be. Saves us from having to hire more help.
People here are more nutso than I thought.
What's she doing?
Watching TV.
Okay, we only have one female character left on the list, so we'll apply Emily to her.
But the TV isn't even on. What's your name?
Patient 42 suffers from severe social anxiety that manifests as selective mutism. She talks to no one.
Neither of these two are going to be any help. Let's split up and canvass the rest of the place. Check the room over there, would you?
On it. Are
Okay.
you patients here?
We know this one. This is when Elvira interviews Spoons and Nellie.
What? Why you even?
It wasn't that big of an issue.
Whoops.
The way I see... this wasn't that big of an issue to
Are
begin
you
with.
done, Tony?
No. Why is this room locked?
That is the seclusion room.
Open it.
I would strongly advise against that.
Anybody in there?
Who the fuck's out there? You get in here, you cocksucker! I'm gonna kill ya! I'm gonna kill all of ya!
Warn you, this patient might be dangerous. He suffers from episodes of acute mania and violent psychosis.
I told you to open this door. Just do it.
All right. Just give me a second. I need to find the key. Which one was it again? Is this one? No, not this one. This will only take a second, I assure you. Ah, here it is.
Great. Open it up.
I'll just wait.
Who the flying fuck are you?
Alright, so we know this conversation
Fucking
where Elvira McMurphy puts on a show to get the doctor to leave.
Give the police.
We'll take it from here. You can leave now.
I'm not sure how interviewing someone like him will help, but you're the police. Not me. Just be careful.
Okay. And of course they have their conversation with McMurphy. Whoa, Elvira goes out and talks to George.
Where'd that guy go? Excuse me, Doc. I need you to turn over the key to room 4.
Huh? Who are you? How did you get in?
I'm a police officer. We're here to investigate a case.
Police? Who let you in? Do you have a search warrant?
Of course I do. It's right in here. Yeah, right there. Just on that table over there.
Ah!
Okay, so that's why she knocks out George. And then of course they go in there. Now Elvira spends some time in here with George alone. And then decides to go in here.
I'll
Escape
go
them?
back there.
What's going on here? Don't tell me our ghost.
Like this.
Red?
Okay, and then they go in there, and then the place explodes. Alright, let's follow Tony. Oh, we probably don't need to follow Tony. Tony comes in with Elvira. And then, yeah, for the... Oh, well, no, there is this one bit where Tony and Elvira split up that we need to figure out what Tony talks about.
Are you both patients here?
Oh, no, we've seen this one. This is the one where, of course, Klep and Director talk to each other, and Klep steals Tony's phone. Interesting. Okay, that's when that happens. Alright, so we don't need to follow Tony anymore. We don't know who Oscar is, or Oscar, depending on your accent. We followed Director. Did we follow Jennifer? Yeah, Jennifer and Ray were just in there, in the stalls. We don't really need to follow them. George. We haven't followed George.
Why is it you wanted me to meet you here, George?
Actually, I wanted to ask you a favor, Maestro. You're an expert when it comes to art, yes?
Ha! It is Maestro.
I was hoping you could evaluate a painting for me.
You've come to the right person. Not to boast, but a piece's price can increase considerably if I say good things about it.
Of course, of course. Please, sit. The picture's right here. If you could just take a look.
What is this? This isn't artwork. This is a map?
Indulge me if you would. And listen to the music. Anything?
Ha! What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I said that this was going to be meta for us being in here doing all of this fancy sound listening stuff, that we were going to be characters lost in a world where we associate ourselves with the... Yeah. Alright. Saw that coming from 1,000 miles away, but there you have it.
There is something. Wait. I need to get my thoughts straight.
Take your time.
Oop.
I see it now.
Tell me, what do you see?
I see an interrogation. Yes, inside a police station.
Who are the police interrogating?
I don't... Oh, wait. Yes. I know this voice. Silver Spoon?
What are they questioning Silver Spoon about?
Something about drugs. Yes, I remember Silver Spoon mentioning this before.
Excellent. Let's move on to the next picture.
Okay, so we know that Maestro was a character in a previous map, so to say. Now, it's difficult to make an assessment based on that information because of all the meta-knowledge that's being passed around right now. Originally, I thought perhaps we could use Maestro's existence as a patient in this facility as an indicator that he, in fact, was not crazy. However, that being said, there seems to be some fourth wall breakage reference here, where Maestro says, Silver Spoon, he was being interrogated in a police station. I think that might be a reference to the fact that multiple characters in this game have shared voice actors, and partially that's probably done because of budgetary reasons. It's just easier to locate one voice actor to do 5 voices instead of 5 voice actors to do 5 voices. But I think they're trying to use that fact as part of the game to show that, like, look, the voices that we're hearing are the same because they're voices in our head or something like that.
Another one? What about the painting you said I was here to evaluate? What's going on? What are you doing to me?
Don't worry, Maestro. It's just a small test. One more picture, and we're done.
Another map?
Do you recognize this place?
It looks familiar. Yes, I know. An art gallery.
Describe the art gallery for me.
It's crowded. An exhibition will start soon. Wait, there's an empty frame? But why?
Exactly. Why is that?
Give me just a moment. No, it can't be that either. But then, who took it? The real painting?
Yeah, this is funny. Maestro's going through all of the levels that we've gone through so far.
Fine. Take your time.
Oh, it's Sean. Yes. Nice to see you again. Oh, and Ms. Reeves is here too.
So Maestro's losing it.
Something was stolen. Someone stole my painting. No, that's not it. I had my own painting stolen. It was part of my exhibition. I spent so much time and effort on my painting. I would never let someone steal it. It was all part of my plan. Yes, the painting was retrieved in the end too. The lost art returned.
Oh, I'm afraid your symptoms haven't improved.
What are you talking about? Didn't you ask me to evaluate paintings for you?
This was an evaluation, except it was a psychiatric one. We call it the thematic apperception test.
What? A psychiatric evaluation?
Yes. Tailor-made for your symptoms. I also use roleplay therapy to supplement the effects. Unfortunately, the results are far from promising.
What's wrong with me, exactly?
We used images to hypnotize you, allowing you to see and hear things from your past. When you saw an interrogation, you could remember the stories Silver Spoon told you. The problem is, when you saw the image reflecting yourself, you weren't able to differentiate between delusion and reality. You sank further and further into your own fantasy story, allowing you to escape from the bleakness of your own reality. You staged the whole theft. Quite the coincidence, and a little too convenient, don't you think?
George! Doctor! What you said... I don't quite understand.
Don't worry about it. You know everything you need to know. Now, answer me one question. Who are you?
I'm the No. No, I'm... Patient number 29. Yes.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay. It would seem... Let's assume... Let's remove a couple layers of the rabbit hole here, and let's assume that Maestro is a real person. And so Maestro being reused here isn't some kind of weird, twisted, nightmarish psychological fracture that our character is going through in Unheard or whatever. So Maestro is a real person, and he gets dragged in here and then gets convinced that he's not actually a master artist, that he is just a patient here in the psychiatric facility.
Now, just make sure you keep taking your medication on time. And trust me, you will get better.
All right.
Patient 29 shows little improvement. If anything, his symptoms may be worsening. For situations with which he has an anecdotal connection, he is able to discern the projected narrative from reality. But in cases where he has direct experience, his ability to distinguish between the two is severely blurred. Prognosis remains guarded. I strongly recommend continued treatment with antipsychotic medications, as well as TAT and role-playing therapy to see if conditions improve. And we should schedule him for a full reassessment in 6 weeks' time. Why isn't the gate locked?
Me, Doc. I need you to turn over the key to room 4.
Okay.
Huh?
And this is when George, of course, follows Elvira, gets knocked out, and then dragged along. I am certainly disoriented as far as what's going on here. Let's follow Maestro as George leaves the room. Okay, so he's snoozing. He might just be asleep this entire time. Yep. Okay. So that leaves Emily, I believe. Doesn't seem like she's doing much. Of course, we already know this conversation. She sings. She sings more. Clip talk to her.
Hey, Emily, you gotta turn that thing on before you can watch it. There's this thing called a remote.
Emily.
Don't do this to me!
Okay. As we thought the remote detonated the TV, Emily seems to have just been a bystander. I don't really feel like we gleaned any useful information from following her. Perhaps there was mention that a sound could be used to trigger someone into changing personalities, into remembering something from the life that they've been conditioned or brainwashed away from. Perhaps Emily's singing has triggered something, although it didn't seem that that was the case. So I'm not sure we can glean anything from that. Anyway, this is going to be a long chapter. And I think we've got the gist of the story, but we still need to ID Oscar and James, which is probably this guy here and somebody else somewhere. We'll figure it out. This is going to have to be a two-parter because, regrettably, I have run out of time. But that's okay. 15-minute long segment and 14 characters, I suppose, will do that. So, when we come back, we will re-evaluate the current information we already have and hopefully figure out who the ghost is and who are the real mental patients. So, thank you for watching. I will see you then.